There's something that you want. Maybe it's a lifestyle change or a career change, or maybe you're dying to finally do that thing. You know the one, the thing that sets your soul on fire, but you're stuck. You're stuck in the same cycle. You're sick of mustering up the determination and the courage to finally make the changes that you want so freaking bad, only to keep finding yourself right back at the beginning. It doesn't matter how eager you are or excited you are for the change. It doesn't matter how prepared you are or how much research you've done to do the thing. If you're still white knuckling these habits, you're going to remain stuck. But the kicker is, most of us don't even realize that these habits are bad or that we're doing them. They become so part of our routine, our day-to-day existence, that we don't even realize that they're habits at all. So what's keeping you stuck? Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joey. I am a full-time work-from-home, stay-at-home mama, an author, and the person who is here to encourage you to become the main character in your own life. We all have some habits that are probably a little less than productive. I, for one, am super guilty of the doom scroll. I know it's hours and hours of my life that I'll never get back, but I'm a sucker for a hilarious cat video. Sue me. We all have our things, but the problem is that there are actually some habits, some things you could be doing literally every single day that might be secretly sabotaging your life. So what I want to do is bring them to light, stare at them head on, and provide an alternate to help kick the goal-ruining habit to the curb for good. I'll be honest, like with most things, half the battle is just becoming aware of them. And in many cases, the other half is just remaining aware of them. Notice yourself doing them and course correct. Choose again. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't fall into the shame spiral. Just notice and pivot. Habit number 1, worrying about what people will think. This one you probably know is keeping you stuck, but it's worth mentioning and bringing it to the surface and staring it down. I recently learned to flip the script, and it's been absolutely life-changing. I'm going to assume that if you're here, if we vibe, that you're a kind-hearted person who likes to think the best of people. So let me ask you, what do you think when you see someone doing something? Don't get me wrong, I can be a very judgmental Bia, but that's usually only when I'm feeling super low and down about myself, and that's a vicious freaking cycle. In that case, does my judgy opinion of what they're doing say anything about them? No, not at all. It's telling me that I need to get over my own ish and face my own insecurities. On a normal day, I freaking love it when I'm watching people do something that they enjoy. Have you ever found yourself chatting with someone about something that they're super passionate about? Have you noticed the energy in that moment? Their excitement is nearly contagious, and somehow their passion ends up totally radiating into your soul. When I see someone doing something big or small that I know takes courage, my normal and immediate reaction is excitement for them. Maybe a little bit of jealousy, but always excitement. The thought that immediately comes to mind is, oh my God, good for them. Oh, finally, they're doing it. They're so good at that. So flip your script here. Assume people are thinking wonderful things. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. But that could be said if you're thinking they're thinking negatively too. But honestly, and this is a harsh reality to swallow, but it's the truth, people probably aren't thinking about you as much as you're worrying about them thinking about you. Everyone is busy. Everyone has their own ish. So you might as well just convince yourself that everyone is silently cheering you on instead of judging you. Number 2, procrastinating. I have met some champion procrastinators in my day. In fact, I married one of them. For some people, procrastination is their superpower, and that's how it is for my husband. It drives me freaking crazy. If he has all the time in the world to do something, it does not matter. He will absolutely wait until the very last possible moment to take action. But he's also the kind of person who thrives in that sort of situation. That's when he does his best work. So it works for him. And if that's you, you can ignore this. But if you're the kind of person who uses procrastination as an excuse to give up entirely,
oh, it's too late. Oh well, too bad. So sad. Oh man.
Then listen up, Buttercup. Chances are you're procrastinating because of something unknown. Maybe you don't know how to do something, or you're not sure what it's going to feel like, or maybe you're afraid you won't be good at it the first time around. You know what eradicates all of those things? Doing. You're probably not going to know how to do everything, but I'm willing to bet you know enough to know how to find the information you need. We live in the age of the internet, people. Information and tutorials could not be easier to find. Be committed to finding the information. Accept that no, you probably won't be very good at first, but you're never going to get through those like initial clunky moments by avoiding it. Make the decision to be bad the first few times. That's how you get good. Number 3, waiting around for someday. My favorite statement is, oh, I'll do it when things slow down. Y'all, I'm in my late 30s. I can tell you confidently that things don't slow down unless you make them. You will not find time. You have to make it. Someday becomes yesterday if it isn't today. Just do the damn thing already. Doubting yourself. Number 4, I went for a walk with a friend who recently just read my book for the first time, and she gushed about it. She was telling me all about how she devoured it, and it was shockingly good. Those were her words, shockingly good. She also went on to like buy it for a friend of hers and gift it to her, and then she was telling someone else that she was giving them this gift, and they got jealous, so they downloaded it and read it themselves, and they all tore through it. Y'all, my books have good reviews. People tell me any chance they get how much they love them. And yet, I still wonder every single day if I'm fooling myself to believe I'm anything but crap. I don't tell you this for pity. I'm sharing because I have nothing but proof. Literally nothing but proof that people like my work and they think that I'm good at what I do, and yet I still find it easier to believe the narrative, one that has absolutely no proof, that I'm crap. Doubting yourself is a completely unproductive waste of time. You're scared, I get it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. People have preferences, and maybe you're not someone's cup of tea, but I can guarantee that there is someone out there who's just waiting for you and what you have to offer. Number 5, obsessively researching. You might be thinking, Joey, isn't it irresponsible to make a decision without researching? And to that I say, indeed, you are correct. That's not what I'm talking about here, and you know it. Because if you're a person who obsessively researches, looking at myself here, then you already know, like somewhere deep down, that this keeps you stuck. It's a coping mechanism. If you're researching, then you don't have to make a decision. And research sounds important. It sounds noble. It sounds responsible. No one is going to scoff at you if you say that you're researching. It's the perfect procrastination cloak, but it's procrastination in a business suit. Do enough research that you're informed and then decide. You know how much is too much. Number 6, clinging to perfectionism. I hate to say it, but this is another procrastination cloak. If obsessively researching is procrastination in a business suit, then perfectionism is procrastination in a fancy dress. By now, we've all heard the phrase, done is better than perfect. And that phrase is so popular because for so many of us, our determination to be perfect is what is keeping us stuck. It's what's keeping you from starting. It's what's keeping you in the revisions mode. Eventually, you just have to let it go and let it fly. Whatever it is, at least then it's done. Otherwise, you'll just live in this like perpetual state of working on it, where you get to hide behind productivity and shield yourself from the opinions of others. Rip off the Band-Aid. Good enough is good enough. Number 7, neglecting your mental health. Now, this might be a surprising one to show up on this list, but as someone who ended 2017, my most successful year in business, by the way, leaving my company in the midst of a complete mental breakdown, I can tell you with confidence that you need to take care of yourself. Driving yourself into the ground, hustling for your worth is a recipe for disaster. Stomping on the gas and going pedal to the metal, once again, sounds noble. It sounds inspiring. In fact, it probably looks inspiring, but it will keep you stuck because all that progress means absolutely nothing if you run yourself so ragged that you are fetal on the living room floor begging God to show you the way out. And then you have to start all over anyway. So yeah, take it from me. Failing to take care of your mental health will absolutely keep you stuck. Number 8, thinking and talking. This is closely related to obsessively researching, but so many of us fall victim to this idea that we have to have it all worked out before we start. We have to think everything through, we have to consider all the potential twists and turns, but what you might not realize is thinking about something you want to do, and especially talking about the thing you want to do, it releases like a chemical in your body that tricks your mind into thinking that you're making more progress toward that reality than you actually are. That's actually half the power of manifestation. The other half is action. You have to stop thinking and talking, and you have to start doing instead. Number 9, not asking for help. Better known as thinking you can do it all by yourself. Can you? Probably. Should you? Absolutely not. And if you're wondering why, then you probably weren't paying close enough attention to number 7. Ultimately, it's just not sustainable. It's just not. You will only get so far. Get over yourself and ask for the help.
I'm also saying that mostly to myself, if that wasn't clear.
Number 10, blaming. If you're too busy blaming everyone but yourself for where you are in life, you'll never learn the lessons that those experiences, or those failures for lack of a better word, were there to teach you. Every time you take ownership of your part in something, you expand, you grow, you allow yourself to evaluate everything, see the parts where you're responsible, and let that discomfort guide you in making your decisions moving forward. But if you're so hell-bent on believing that everything awful that has ever happened in your life is totally and completely somebody else's fault, well, you'll probably live the rest of your life stuck in this exact cycle. And I don't know about you, but that sounds absolutely freaking miserable. I'd rather be uncomfortable for a few days realizing that, like, shit, I messed up, than live my whole life believing that everyone else around me sucks. Number 11, multitasking. I'm just gonna say it. If this is on your resume, I'm gonna recommend that you take it off. I was a hiring manager in previous roles, and whenever I would see someone use this on their resume, I'd either 1, completely skip over their resume, or 2, if they were actually qualified for the job, I'd bring them in for an interview and then press into this during the interview. Now, don't let that fool you. I absolutely had excellent multitasker on my resume. That is until I learned the truth about multitasking. Multitasking, once again, sounds noble. It sounds like you're some kind of like magical wizard who can do like, oh my God, all the things. But if you're doing all the things, you're likely not doing any of them very well. Instead, flip the script here. Become excellent at managing multiple projects with competing deadlines. That narrative promotes prioritization, focus, and time management. And that narrative supports productivity, progress, and growth. Multitasking splits your focus and often keeps you stuck in that like wheels spinning mode. And finally, number 12, repeating the narrative that you're stuck. The story you tell yourself and others matters way more than you think. We believe the things we say and think often. And once we believe it, we accept it as fact and we stop questioning it. We stop looking for a solution to it. The more you talk about how stuck you feel, the more stuck you're going to remain. Instead, tell yourself that you're exploring what comes next, or you're excited to see where life takes you, or you're just eager to see what's coming around the corner next. I know it sounds small and insignificant, the words that we say and that we think, but it's not. I can promise you it's not. So with that, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I've been hearing from some of you lately that these videos are really resonating and that you're feeling motivated and excited, and y'all, that's really all I could ever ask for. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and do all the like YouTube-y things. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, maybe leave a comment down below letting me and others watching what habits of these have you actually been doing that have been keeping you stuck? And what are you gonna do about it now? I'm always happy to connect and encourage you on this journey to becoming the main character in your own life. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.